is to essentially buy the outer cuts of beef that would otherwise previously have had to be discarded or used for pet food because they were more likely to come in contact with hides, excrement, other animals, and contain E. coli. They found that by introducing, as I understand it, ammonia vapor, basically steaming this stuff, whipping it into a mulch-like paste with bits of extruded fat, mixing it into this slime and processing it with ammonia, that they were able to bring the likelihood of E. coli down. Now, it doesn't sound like good stuff, for sure, and there was clearly a backlash, a huge one. The fact that McDonald's and other major retail outlets are saying, we're not using it anymore, it's not like they're nice guys. They're looking pretty far in the future and seeing that this is going to come back and bite us. We're saving money now, we're making money now, but this could really come back and hurt our brand. So clearly that's one of many indications of this sort of thinking affecting the marketplace, you know?
Yeah, so it wasn't, like you said, it was not a separate ingredient because it's still beef.
Well, that's up to you to decide whether the introduction of an ammonia vapor or whatever is an ingredient or a process. Personally, I would like to know if it's ammonia in my cleaning product. It might be.
All right, so just kind of America's hallmark, and agribusiness, growing, production, and storage technologies. I think America has led the world in this.
We have.
I looked at some recently. We're spending a third today of our annual budget on food compared with what we were doing in the 1950s.
Our single largest privately held company is a food producer. I think Cargill is the biggest American privately held company.
And so we've made more food on less land with fewer farmers than ever before.
No doubt about it. Frozen food is surely a good thing. Most of these things, but with the good comes the bad, and the bad might be that it is in the financial interest of some very large, powerful companies that you continue to eat badly and too much. And they're going to spend a lot of money, as any company will do, to make you continue to buy their products. And a lot of these products
I've got a few
are
minutes
not
to browse.
ideal staples of any diet. We need only look at the way Americans look and the state of our health to see that that's the truth.
So is processed food bad? I like French fries. I like burgers.
So unfortunately,
I had a burger last night.
it's not like cigarettes. It's a matter of proportion. It's not you can't eat it. It's that you can't eat too much of it.
Uh-huh.
That's hard.
So it is so good and so cheap, it makes it that much harder to regulate.
And the politics come into how come it's so cheap.
Okay, so what's an example of that?
We subsidize corn and soybeans. We don't subsidize broccoli.
And soybeans, what do we do with that that's so bad for
Soy
people?
oil, it goes into processed foods.
So what's your solution to this? Is it to make food more expensive? Is it to change the availability of it? What's the solution?
Yeah, you want to change the environment in order to make it easier for people to eat more healthfully. That's what Mayor Bloomberg is trying to do with his 16-ounce soda cap.
He's trying to outlaw 20-ounce sodas in the city.
Yeah, he's trying to make fat people illegal, which I think is a good thing.
So are you over that line? Are you ready?
I don't drink a lot of soda. I'm just a regular fat person. But I think that ban sounds pretty good. But what if we subsidize parsley?
It's not a ban, it's a card.
Yeah, it's a cap. It's a cap.
So there is a public good that laws conserve because somebody out there is more concerned about your health than you are.
Hey, Solomon.
Yes, because they have to pay for it.
Right.
If something goes wrong.
Right. The insurance base, the tax
Sure.
base.
I mean, there
Let's
have
take
been
a look.
estimates, I don't know how good they are, that overweight costs America $190 billion a year.
Yeah.
I don't
You
want
can
to.
go to Mars twice for that.
I would hope so.
And
Wow!
imagine if the trip was full of people who were overweight. The savings combined with shipping away the problem,
That's a
plus
double.
the exploration, it's just like, I'm full of solutions.
So lately, fast food has been fortified in ways so you are getting vitamins and minerals and things. Isn't
Oh,
that
it
right?
has vitamins and minerals and protein and other kinds of nutrients. It's not so. Sodas are the only thing that have calories and no nutrients.
And no nutrients, yeah. Okay,
And alcohol, sorry.
Okay, so
You're saying there's no nutrients?
There's no,
Not even whiskey?
especially in whiskey.
What about red wine? Do you make pregnant people run faster? Isn't that true? That's true.
Oh my God.
when we come back to Star Talk Radio, more of my interview with Anthony Bourdain. We're talking about nutrition around the world, food around the world. More on Star Talk Radio when we come back.
Pizza Hut? What the hell is this song? Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Oh my god, I'm gonna have that stuck in my head all day.
Finally sign up for Hulu Plus. Right now, Star Talk fans get a special extended free trial at huluplus.com/StarTalk. What's one thing sci-fi geeks love to argue about? Their favorite TV series, of course. I do it all the time. We just ask our fans for their favorites, and over 3,200 of you weighed in.
Alright, I'm gonna do Flying Puerto Rico. Mitsubishi, Subaru.
Stream anywhere, anytime on your TV, smartphone, or tablet. And best of all, Hulu Plus is only $7.99 a month. That's $7.99 for all the shows and movies you can watch. So, no more excuses. Let the viewing party begin. Make sure you use huluplus.com/StarTalk to get our special extended free trial.
Oh, how I wish I had strength from this character.
It helps us to keep the lights on and gives you a better deal.
Let's see what you got.
Free extended trial. Go to huluplus.com/StarTalk. This is Star Talk.
Eat, sleep, and breathe that you're full of the stuff. Go back and tie it up tight. Wheat, meat, dairy-free, teetotal. I bet I'll be high all night. You should try it. You should know. Go on while no one's looking. To keep me quiet.
We're back on Star Talk Radio, and I'm with Eugene Merman.
Hello.
And I've got Professor Marion Nestle. Spelled like Nestle, I guess, but without the accent.
Without the accent.
There you go. Too bad, right? She's professor of nutrition at New York University. She's thought a lot about this, and not only nutrition in general, but the role of food and its impact on culture and politics. And in fact, you've got a book out called Why Calories Count: From Science to Politics. Excellent title. Check it out. So what's interesting is different regions of the world have different diets, and you can look at how long those people live and say, hey, maybe something's going on in their culture that's not going on in my culture. They talked about the Mediterranean diet that is high in, I guess, olive oils and things. There's the Japanese, broadly the Asian diet, which is very low fat. High
Puerto Rican diet is high oil, high fat. Oh, delicious.
Come back and get some of the science.
High salt and fat.
Let's check it out. Tell me about these diets. We call them diets, but it's just the mainstay culinary offerings in various parts of the world. There's lots of spoken of the Mediterranean diet, the Japanese diet, and they live a long time. Heart disease is low. But your life experience, is all that true?
No doubt about it. I mean, you go to Crete, for instance.
I guess we know it's true, but
You
live in a very nice part of the world.
How big a factor is the food?
I'm guessing there's, you're a Vietnamese rice farmer. There's working hard. You are working hard.
No sense
walk
outside the wall undefended. High quality protection for sale.
I'm coming for you.
Search sense. Supplies are
Much of the world
Sure. Let's take a look.
a bit of everything.
But clearly there's something to be said for cultures where the ratio of meat, of protein to fresh vegetables is completely different. Ours is distorted. Much of the cultures we're talking about, they use meat or bone or protein almost as a flavoring ingredient. Very careful. Much more value. You have delicious, for the most part, vegetables. Generally a stuff filler like starch, like whether it's rice or cassava or potato, wherever it is. Clearly, it has an impact on what your body looks like and how long you're going to live. No doubt about it.
All right, now you're over 6 feet tall. In Japan, people hardly get that height. Mm-hmm. So, is it a trade-off between that kind of diet and whether you grow tall?
Well, I don't think it's a trade-off we make anymore because they're getting taller and bigger. There's no doubt about it as they become fonder of Western food and processed food. I mean, the same thing's happening there as here, the bulking of the world. But I think, there clearly is.
The bulking of the world.
One of my favorite, I'm not particularly well inclined. As much as it might be good to eat more vegetables and less animal protein, I'm not particularly well inclined towards really hardcore
Dr. Fumbles.
unwavering
Express.
vegans. So one of my favorite statistics is that apparently vegans in non-industrialized cultures seem to do very much better than vegans in
Mr. Bang Bang.
industrialized cultures. And people were trying to figure out why that was, why they're living longer and seem healthier. And apparently the insect parts and the carcasses in rice much higher in non-industrial cultures.
It's left in the product.
Yeah, so
all your
basically we're getting
modifications.
a lot more animal protein.
Insect protein. We're flicking away the insects out of our
They're
vegetables.
very high in protein bugs, by the way. People eat those for a reason.
So, I happen to know separately that little people live longer than big people. So, if you have a culture where everyone's little, then maybe it doesn't matter what they eat.
Like that's why babies live forever.
So, in certain cultures, people are just smaller. Maybe that's the biggest driver for their longevity. Or is there much truth in these diets?
Oh,
What can you
the
say?
statistics all show there are plenty of countries in the world that have much better longevity than we do. And they tend to have in common that they eat more plant foods, fruits and vegetables and grains, and they don't eat as much meat and they don't eat as much junk food. And as the American fast food and soda companies...
It's not just fewer calories.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
actual mixture of...
It has a lot to do with calories.
It's just harder to eat so much parsley that it's as many calories as a
Really
burger.
hard.
I've tried.
Really hard to get fat on parsley. You have to eat roomfuls of it. It's really tough.
Now, Buddha, last I checked, was a vegetarian, and he's generally shown as quite chubby.
Yes, but everybody was bringing him rice offerings
Yeah,
all
okay.
He
day
had a
long.
very high carb diet.
Yeah, all right.
That's
All
the
day
reason.
long.
Okay, so you're prepared to say that if in America we want to live longer, cut the meat.
Cut the
down.
calories.
Oh, cut the calories.
Calories.
Cut the calories and change the balance of the meat.
Change the balance.
Yeah.
Eat more fruits and vegetables. Don't eat so much junk food. Balance calories and love what you're eating.
What does that do for
That's my advice.
Meaning find ways to make foods that aren't burgers delicious.
Yeah, or just make sure that you enjoy what you
Burger is
enjoy what
the
you
reference
eat.
frame for
I
one.
live burgers are totally
It's
fine.
one of life's greatest pleasures.
Yeah.
To enjoy it and not make it your enemy. Makes me
Should be
so
your friend.
to be friends.
Got this for when I want to be loud.
You're like Yoda.
This one I want to shoot him from afar.
When we come back,
And this one I want to take him up close.
And my in-studio guest.
And apparently I got no arm or anything on this suit.
Eugene Mervin, be right back.
Oh, this one's better. 130 and 85.
The future of space,
That's better
the
too.
secrets of our planet revealed. This is Star Talk.
What's going on with that leg? I don't have an arm for this suit. Whatever. Don't even use power on myself.
We're back. Star Talk Radio. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, your host. Find us on the web at startalkradio.net. You can download our
Hey,
archives of shows. Great stuff there.
Something for you?
And not only that, we're on Facebook. Like us there. Just Star Talk Radio. You'll find us. And we tweet Star Talk Radio.
Alright, let's see what
Eugene, you tweet.
Yes.
And Eugene Merman.
Yes.
M-I-R-M-I-N.
Man.
some
And
survival.
our special guest today. Right
I
up.
tweet.
You tweet?
Nice.
A tweeting nutritionist.
Marion Nestle.
Marion Nestle.
Marion Nestle.
Came out of that previous segment. I called you Nestle. I'm sorry.
perfectly all
I
right.
can't be the first
No
one.
relation. You're not the first.
And I'm not the first.
And you won't be the
And I
last.
surely won't be the last. By the way, we're also on the Nerdist channel of YouTube. Check us out in video. So we're featuring my interview with Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
He gets around, he makes great food, he eats food that is prepared all around the world.
Hi,
And
Shane.
it's an intriguing subject, as you know, because not everyone eats the same way. My great
What?
disappointment traveling America.
I want to shoot the broadsider. Holy crap.
And
What?
I asked him about food that's sort of good or bad.
This is a naval cannon.
Judgment on
You mean like
I want...
Because he traveled the world. I mean, when you travel, you eat different foods.
I want this.
So I asked him, what kind of good food do you have?
I want this so bad.
What,
I see.
what didn't taste good?
Yeah.
Tasted good, didn't taste good, that's
Yeah.
all. But might be a delicacy in its land, so let's find out what he said.
Hey, Trash Can Carla.
Need to pick something up?
Iceland is something I'll never ever be able to.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
You break it?
Probably even the majority. It's a celebrated national dish that they eat on their holidays, and it's basically rotten sharp. I'm not going to be visiting that again. I could choke down anything to be a good guest. But really, the only real problems are when it's a matter of freshness. You know, when it's a really poor culture with very limited access to ingredients.
You have a hearty digestive system?
Yeah,
Under
but I mean, the
glue.
2 times that I've been brought down and lost a day's work were both tribal situations. The whole tribe looking at me. It's bush meat. It's whatever protein they could scrounge. It's not in good shape. There are cleanliness issues.
You took one for the team.
I absolutely
Oh my
did.
gosh.
The surprises are everywhere. Eating street food in Asia changed my life. It ruined my life in wonderful ways. When you've had a really well-made bowl of spicy noodles in Vietnam, even out of a chip bowl on a low plastic stool in the street.
She doesn't have the broadsider.
Breakfast,
I want that weapon.
You cannot go back to the person you were before when you've experienced some of the degree of spice, complexity, and even a little bit of pain. There's an element of sadomasochism in some of that food that's kind of disturbing and yet enticing.
Good and bad food around the world. I mean, this was parodied or captured in Indiana Jones' second of those.
Where he has to eat the little boy's heart. I can't remember what happens.
That's when they pull the heart out.
They give him the Icelandic shark that's...
Chilled monkey brain and eyeball soup. And so, are these real food? Must be.
Whatever if they're being served, they're obviously real food.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to get you.
Do they do that? When you go somewhere, they're like, we eat brains all the time. They're like, no, we don't.
So, is there a study on the nutritional analysis of all these exotic foods?
Absolutely.
And what do you guys find? I mean, I guess
They have nutrients. All foods have nutrients.
at the end of the day, they're just eating something that was once alive.
That's right.
How good are sweetbreads for you, would you say?
I think in small quantities I wouldn't.
It's neither sweet nor is it bread.
No,
It's
but
neither sweet nor bread.
There is organ meat of mammals.
a tiny bit of it will make you strong and fast and outrun people drinking red wine.
Wouldn't you look
I'm just trying to have you go like, most people don't know this, but eating butter in the morning is very good for you.
Over there.
Why won't you tell me this?
Because they've got their safe secrets.
Because I'm one of these people who thinks it's okay to
Gotta
do
wait
whatever
for Nick
you
to
like
get into
as long as
position
you
and,
enjoy it and don't eat too much of it.
Right.
All right,
Hey.
so foods that are really horrendous. Do you think there's something, and it must be cultural, I mean, learned taste buds?
Yeah, I mean, if you grew up on eating sweetbreads all the time, you would think it was a great delicacy. If you grew up on eating crickets all the time, you would think it was a great delicacy.
You'd be right about sweetbreads, but wrong about
Well,
crickets. I'm just
there
saying.
you are.
Just,
That's cultural
just to give
relative.
a moral blanket statement.
Whether or not Americans are the right answer to this question, hold it aside. What country in the world has the worst health?
The worst health.
Yes.
Excluding America?
Yes.
Oh, I would say the countries that are poorest.
So poorest.
Poorest countries.
So poorest and then the fattest.
Yeah, that.
So go poorest,
That,
fatties.
that too.
And then